I think it's really important for advisors to use their own personal experiences to illustrate the value of protection. And many advisors absolutely do that. So whether they've had a personal situation, whether they've got a health issue that they've overcome, that's actually illustrated the value of the cover that they're actually recommending. Me personally, for example, I had breast cancer 2 years ago. So I've talked quite a lot about my own personal experience, both obviously having that difficulty in my life, but the benefits that protection insurance has actually given me, that's been really valuable. And whilst I'm not an advisor myself, that's been really quite helpful in terms of trying to illustrate the value of the protection market, whether you're recommending life and CI, serious illness cover, or income protection, it doesn't really matter. And of course, PMI, and that's what I've been able to claim on, particularly with Vitality. So all of that is really useful. And advisors in particular, absolutely, when they're having those one-to-one conversations, they could be talking about their own family situation and what type of cover they've bought, if they've needed to claim on it in the past. As an individual advisor who's owning their own business, particularly when talking about business protection, they can utilize their own experiences in terms of the cover that they've needed to put in place to protect their business as well as their own personal situation. And then those advisors that are utilizing added benefits as well. I've heard advisors, I've worked with advisors before who have used their Vitality discounted gym membership to talk about the value of those added benefits. If they've been going to the gym at lunchtime, they're utilizing them, and then they've bought into it themselves, so they can really talk to clients about how valuable that is alongside the actual core cover, which at the end of the day is the most important part of the conversation. You've got to make sure that recommendation is right, but you can certainly bring your own personal situation into it to kind of illustrate how it's valued to how it's been really, really worthwhile to you, and so why you're recommending it to your clients, and that should hopefully mean that the client really buys into it, because then it becomes a real personal recommendation as well as a professional one.
I think an important thing as an advisor with anything that we're doing when we're chatting to people is to try and make things as relatable as possible. Whether or not it's to do with like the reasons as to why we'd want something like life insurance or income protection. If you're giving sort of those real stories to people, that's what hits things home. That's what makes people sort of stand up and listen. One of the things that I tend to do when it's sort of trying to promote people maybe having like a healthier lifestyle and things is I talk about how much it's been beneficial to me to start dancing again in the last few years since I've had my second child. It was helped with the baby weight, but also sort of with my mental health. It kind of, you don't think about how it's going to sort of give you that confidence, but it really does give you that boost. And it's not just about obviously losing weight and things, it's how you sort of like you look in your outfits. You generally tend to be, I think, like a bit more positive if you've been able to be sort of like a bit more active, and whether or not that's just getting out into the sunshine a bit, whether or not that's taking part in classes. I'm sure Alan will talk about his what I consider his crazy mornings where he throws tyres around the beach with a group of people, and that's certainly not my thing. But I think if you get a nice rapport going with somebody, and it could be that you're chatting about anything, you could be chatting about how much you both love football or rugby or swimming or anything like that, and then could be talk about local teams, and then you just gradually bring it back to I really enjoy doing that myself, and then you just build on the conversations and try and make it much more of a positive thing for people.
What works really well for me when I'm talking to clients is the fact that I've had my own policy since 2014. I love it, I get it, I understood it, and I really believe it in what it's trying to do.
I think it's really interesting for me is like when you can share anecdotes with clients. So we do all of our business over the telephone, and the amount of times I'll get talking to somebody, and obviously you judge everybody, I guess you judge each conversation on how it's going. There's certain things you wouldn't say to some people that you would say to another, but if it's going in the right direction, and you'll share these stories, and someone will say, well, I started swimming, or I started doing this, or I started going for long walks because of this, and then you can go, well, actually, do you know what? I started running because of this, or I started going for early morning swims, or throwing a tire around the beach, or whatever it is. And you can sort of share, and they'll go, oh, wow, that sounds really interesting. Or yeah, that sounds, actually, no, I definitely wouldn't be up for that sort of thing. But, you can sort of have these conversations and share them with people. And I think it's really, really good.
I'm a bit of a geek with Vitality. I've got my own life insurance and health insurance plan with Vitality. So first off, that makes it that bit easier to explain it and walk clients along the Vitality journey as such. I mean, when you look at the making the most of Vitality and all the things that you've got to do, which seem quite a lot to get your points and reach a higher status and things like that, I can vouch straight away that it's not that much, because I'm not the fittest person in the world. I wish I was, but I'm not. But I'm doing well. I'm nearly on platinum, so that helps me anyway, because I obviously maintain a fitter and healthier lifestyle than I would without a Vitality policy. I'm actually at a Virgin Active gym where I get my discount. That helps me save money. And then obviously the healthier and the happier I am, the better service my clients get, and obviously the introducers that I work with, and just all round it just enhances your life.